Charles Barkley explains why black voters are ditching the Democrats. Now, this comes on the heels of Charles Barkley talking about if he see anyone with a Trump hat on, he'll punch him in the face or something like that. He said. So I don't know. I don't know if it's someone enlightened him on what's going on with black folks, how the culture is now for Trump, or he did some his own reading, or I don't know why he flipped the script on this. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, from Matt Margolis, and he reports that we've been documenting Joe Biden's problems with non-white voters for a long time now. So have I. You know I've been on it. And despite his consistent pandering to minorities, he's been bleeding support from this once reliably Democrat voting bloc. Like, they didn't even have to give them anything. It's crazy. Like, for years upon years upon years, Democrats would come in and promise black folk all type of stuff during the election season. Then once they voted for them, we get totally ignored. Black folk, we get totally ignored. And then they continue to do it again. They continue to do it again. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But now I think a lot of people are finally waking up to it. A lot of people are leaving the Democratic plantation and no longer supporting them because they know they're not getting anything for their vote. But despite winning 87% of the black vote in 2020, recent polling from USA Today and Suffolk University shows that only 63% of black voters are supporting Biden in 2024. And I really would like to talk to those people and ask them, what are they really supporting him for? Are you supporting him for the economy? It's the worst. Are you supporting him because he's putting illegal immigrants before us? Is that it? Like, why are you supporting this man? But this trend is consistent with other polls highlighting a diminishing level of support for Biden among various minority groups that threaten his chances of winning in November. Quote, the data show that the Democrat Party retaining advantages among people of color and young adults, but in 2023, it was in a weaker position among these groups than at any other point in the past quarter century, Gallup noted last month. Quote, Democrats' reduced support among black and Hispanic adults should be especially concerning for the party, given Republicans' continued strength among white adults who remain the majority of the electorate. Why is this happening? Of course, a big part of it is that Americans from all backgrounds remember that things were a lot better during the Trump years and would like to return to that. And you cannot argue that we were way more better off under Trump than under Biden. I mean, people was really getting money. Everybody was getting money under Trump. And black people took notice of that. And they know how we're struggling right now. All you have to do is go to the grocery store, you can buy something as simple as materials to make spaghetti that used to be really, really cheap. It's now really, really expensive. But there's another reason why Trump is appealing to black voters. According to former NBA star and current CNN host Charles Barkley, quote, the reason I think the Democratic Party and Mr. Biden, President Biden, is losing black votes is that they only care about black people every 4 years, Barkley said. You just now figuring that out? You are just now figuring that out. So I'm going to play a clip of Charles Barkley, his take on all of this. And remember, this is on the heels of him saying he will punch a black Trump supporter in the face.
And obviously, I'm only speaking for myself. The reason I think the Democratic Party and Mr. Biden, President Biden, is losing black votes is they only care about black people every 4 years. Mm-hmm. They come into our neighborhoods and say, we're going to make stuff better. We're going to do this, do this, do this. And then finally, us black people are like, man, other than my ability to dunk a basketball, all my neighborhoods are still the same. Our schools are still the same. And that's why I think black people are leaving disappointed in the Democratic Party, because I ain't gonna lie, I voted Democratic every time just because I thought it was gonna help black people and poor people. Because black people and poor white people, they're in the same boat. And like, I didn't care who the president was, I'm not gonna lie, but I only voted Republican one time in my life, and that was for John Kasich, and I didn't even know he couldn't win. But then I'm starting to look like, man, I understand why black people are leaving, want to vote for somebody else, because every 4 years they come into our neighborhood and say, man, we're going to make things better for you. When Donald Trump compares his plight with that of the black person, that is what I had a problem with. Now, I do want to say this. I want to make it perfectly clear.
See, he did not. Let me correct him on this before I play the rest of this. Trump did not compare his plight to black people's plight. He said that he was told, this is during the black federal, I forgot what they called the group, the Black Conference. They had a Black Conservative Conference. I forgot what it was called. I think the Black Conservative Federation or something like that. They had a conference, and Trump spoke, and he said that black people are telling me this. This is what they say. I'm for you now because you're going through some of the same prosecution, some of the same stuff that we've been going through and we've been talking about for years, and now you're seeing it and you're going through it. That's what he's talking about. He didn't say that. Black people are telling him this. And I've seen black people tell him this. And I heard people come out their mouths and say they for Trump because he's like one of us now. I've heard this. So you can't pretend like people aren't saying this, and you can't beat up Trump for noting this, that people are telling him this.
Clear. If you're a black person and you're wearing a Donald Trump mugshot, you are a freaking idiot. And I'm only saying freaking idiot because they won't let me say what I really want to say. But you can figure it out. It starts with an F.
So yeah, that's him talking about calling us idiots and saying they didn't play the clip of him saying he would punch. But that's definitely what he said. No, you're the idiot. How you one instance you say I understand why black people are voting Republican now, and then at the same breath saying you're an idiot if you do it. Which one is it? I don't get it. Of course Barkley is right. He's not saying anything that black pundits haven't said before. Democrats are notorious for running as the savior party for black people, yet doing nothing to help them. It's an endless cycle of making promises in every election cycle and then doing nothing until it's time to ask for their votes again. During the Trump administration, black voters realized that the Democrats we're leaving them behind. I mean, just look at all you have to do is just look at Chicago and look at Brandon Johnson, who's a Democrat, a leftist, and look how he's supporting illegal immigrants more than his own constituents. And he does not even care. They come to these meetings, they yell at him, they tell him that he's doing wrong, and he look all blank-faced and could care less because he's pushing his leftist agenda, and black folk are tired of it. You keep putting us in the back of the bus and putting illegal immigrants before us. It's not right. But during the Trump administration, black voters realized that the Democrats were leaving them behind. Oh, sorry, I already read that part. But if Charles Barkley wants to vote in such a way to help black people, he should consider voting for Trump in November. But I doubt it. He's the real idiot. Charles Barkley is the real idiot. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.